Hey, what's up? Kevlin here. Today I'm going to be rambling more so than I usually do. Though I try to keep my rambling I try to keep my rambling short in videos, but if you know me in real life, you know I don't shut up if I'm comfortable around you, and we'll talk about the same, three things over and over and over again. Snakes, Fire Emblem, and complaining about anything and everything. Snakes are fun, though. I have Salt, and I have Azana, and Yune, and Kagero, and Mist, and Asugi, and Grey Mask, and Henry, and Elise, and Olin, and Seizo, and Odin, and Aries, and Spaghetti Boy, and of course... where is she? Petunia, your presence is needed. And of course, Petunia! Most of them are named after Fire Emblem characters, and Spaghetti Boy was going to be named after a Fire Emblem character too. Did do, actually. But he smelled kinda funky. Wait. I'm rambling again. Today I'm going to be talking about the villains of the Legend of Zelda series. Not really like a ranking, but more so just rambling about them in no particular order. Kinda akin to my Fire Emblem rankings. So here we go. I'm putting Sia from Hyrule Warriors first because I keep forgetting she actually exists, and I want to make sure she's on here. Fighting against her is pretty easy. I mean, she's not exactly wearing any kind of armor, so her defenses are low. One thing that's super annoying, though, is how she can summon shadows of her and Link. Like, can we not? I thought I was almost done with this fight, and then boom, 5 more. And what sucks is you can't replicate that when you get to play as Sia. There's that one move she has where she uses 4 Dark Links and a joint attack, but that's about it. I was hoping she'd be a bit more fun and powerful when I got to play as her. But, yeah, most of her powers came from Ganondorf, and the other half went to her other half, Lana. Sia and Lana are pretty much opposites, but I get that's what they're kind of going for. From outfits to personality, they're definitely something. I wonder what their joint form looks like, though. I don't know. Sia's personality is, well, I kind of get what they were going for, and I remember seeing her for the first time and hearing her motives, and then I thought she's just the queen of Link fans. I mean, she has pictures all over her walls of Link. It's okay to have your fandoms. That's how you avoid getting soap and candles for your birthday. But there's a line, and Sia definitely crossed it. When Ganondorf double crosses Sia, she just descends in a broken-hearted madness. Well, I think not every character needs closure. The way she just kind of dies is kind of anticlimactic. Also, if she's Lana's other half, does that mean Lana is, weaker now that Sia is dead? Do they share the same memories? Like, if Lana remembers eating, a bean burrito or something, but Sia never did, does she remember that? Do they know where the other one is at all times? If they were the Guardians of Time or whatever, where did they come from? I don't know. I try to feel bad for Sia, but in the end, she just was another loser in the war of love. A lot of people go through that feeling, but not all of us have dark magic powered by mythical gold Doritos. I also couldn't really relate to her. In the end, I just felt kind of bad for Lana, but this isn't about her. Anyways, on to the next one. Next, I'm talking about Zant. I feel like I just talked about him, but I want to talk about him again. In the context of Twilight Princess, I really liked the dark, creepy vibes he had. The whole aesthetic of the Twilight Realm was really neat. Unless we're talking about Hyrule Warriors, then that is a place that is darker than Henry's soul. But in Twilight Princess, I enjoyed the black and glowing green of the palace. Zant matched it with his weird king wizard robes and his weird fish helmet. Fighting him was always fun. A lot of Zelda games provided ways to go back and fight previous bosses, and you get to do that with Zant. It's a boss battle in a boss battle. It's a double win. As for fighting as the Usurper King, we never really got a chance until the previously mentioned Hyrule Warriors. Playing as Zant is complete chaos, as one would probably expect. It's so much fun just becoming a tornado of unresolved chaos and flattening people with giant Zant heads or totem poles of pain. But with great power comes with great responsibility. Zant is very hard to control compared to the close combat of, say, Link or Impa. He is fun to play as, but he probably wouldn't be in my top 5. Zant's personality is, I feel like, the personification of fake it till you make it. He seems kind of needy and childish when he didn't get to become the next king of the Twilight Realm. But when Zant finally became king, he metaphorically and literally put on a mask to hide his face. He came in complete style, taking over Hyrule Castle with a small army of Tweely or Twilight, whatever you want to call them, beasts. What is it with bad guys killing and or destroying the people and the places they want to take over? You can't be a leader if no one's there to follow, 'cause they're all dead. You can't have a kingdom if you burn it to the ground. I remember reading somewhere, I think it was the manga, however you want to say it, that he used to be like a professor teaching magic or something. I don't know. I do remember as a kid, though, I thought he was Midna's uncle for some reason. Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't know where I got that from. But I'm pretty sure if he actually was a professor teaching magic, I'm pretty sure Garrick Mach Monastery would have hired him. They hire a lot of really weird people there. Okay, next is Majora. I've seen a lot of people rank this maniacal mask pretty high on their villains list, but meh. I'm not dumping on you if you like Majora. We're all entitled to our own opinions, and Majora's Mask is still a stellar game. And yes, this is mostly because of Majora. It doesn't really seem to have a personality, just a cold bloodlust. I remember watching my oldest sister fight Majora in her game, and I was confused to say the least. No villainous banter, no hostage. I didn't get double-crossed or missiles pointed at me. Now that I'm older, I get it. It's a mask embedded with evil powers. But how? Petunia, what are you doing? Petunia does not like this hat. She also doesn't like glasses either. Every time I wear, like, sunglasses, she just pushes them off my face. Maybe I'll try that next time. Maybe that'll keep her off my head. What was I saying? I get it. It's a mask embedded with evil powers. But how? I think in the Majora's Mask manga, in the epilogue, it explains something about a traveler who found an evil beast alone in a desert, and it ate travelers. But it couldn't help but dance to the catchy music of the Zelda series. Majora's Mask does have some pretty killer tunes. My personal favorites are the Deku Palace and the Stone Tower Temple. After the beast dies, the traveler turns the beast's body into the mask that we all know. I know a manga isn't exactly canon, but was this man-eater really that horrible that its taste for flesh manifested itself in the mask? I don't know. I think there was like an in-game answer or something. I don't know. I think I'm just looking too much into this. I just thought that it was strange that a normal thing like, Petunia.
10 seconds later.
I just think it's kind of weird that, like, a normal man-eater gets, like, all this power. Like, I'm pretty sure a bokoblin would probably eat a dead person. And in our world, we have people that are constantly attacked by wild animals. But, like, that's just natural, like, nature, right? So, wouldn't this beast eater or whatever, isn't that its natural instinct? I don't know. I know I'm looking too much into this now. I think I just want a backstory and a character growth for a mask. Next is Girahim. I'll start off with that he is one of my favorite Zelda villains, if not my favorite, for the sheer reason that he was actually a challenge to fight. Zelda games aren't supposed to be Dark Souls hard, but they aren't supposed to be Kirby easy. Not including final bosses in Kirby. Those are the things your shady coworker keeps hidden in their closet. A lot of Zelda enemies can usually be defeated by stabbing, blowing it up, or smashing it with a giant hammer. The bosses usually have some obvious weak point staring you down, pun definitely intended. But Girahim did not have any of this. When you first meet him in the Skyview Temple, he comes at you barehanded. When you try to fight him by flailing your arms like a drowning cat, he catches your sword and steals it. I know this is probably more for game mechanic reasons because the whole motion control thing, but losing your sword to the first boss fight in a game and having to resort to throwing pots at him, let's just say I wasn't expecting that, especially when I was playing the demo at Target. Girahim is fast, crafty, and strong, and that is one of the only times you can land a blow on him is when he gets his sabers lodged into the ground coming at you from above. I think you're supposed to also use like the shield parry or the shield bash or whatever, but I lost my shield to Girahim after losing my sword, and I just never got another one until the Hylian shield in my first playthrough. I just thought they were kind of pointless. The only time Girahim has a shining weak point is in the third and final form when you fight him when he's in his ultimate form. But man, does he keep that thing well guarded. With that giant broadsword, he's really hard to get past. You gotta chip away at that thing fast. You gotta chip away at that thing fast. Faster than I can think of words to describe it. Playing as him is fun, though. In Hyrule Warriors, you're able to use all the previously mentioned attacks to plow through whatever's in front of you. He's pretty fast and has the ability to fight close up or far away. What I don't get is why someone, though, as powerful and self-centered as him feels like he has to serve anyone, be it Demise or Ganondorf. He seems like the one to have servants. Sure, he has like the bokoblins and whatnot. They're there, but they feel more like minions than actual characters or the kind of being that would want or have the need for a leader. They also don't really feel like they'd be able to support or feed into his twisted personality and support him in that way. Now, I did make a theory kind of relating to this. I'll link it below if y'all are interested, but just know that if you watch it, you're opening your Cringemas gift early. Now, I'm sure all of you have been waiting for Ganondorf, the king of evil himself, the man who's so mad that all of his angst has been reincarnated every time Nintendo needs to make a new Zelda game. I blame you, Demise. Ganondorf is what Plankton is to SpongeBob. He's a staple of the series, and Ganondorf is one of the rare occasions where playing as the bad guy is more fun than fighting against him. Every time I fight against Ganondorf, it is indeed epic and a worthy climax to any game, but I know what to expect. Some first phase, followed by a sword fight. Twilight Princess, I feel like, had the longest fight with him, and he was only in it for the last half. My personal favorite is when you and Zelda face off against him in Wind Waker, and Link drives the Master Sword straight through his head. Excellent! The boss fight with him in Hyrule Warriors is also a lot of fun. You get to use all the weapons and tricks that you've hoarded throughout the game to fight him. When you get to play as him, he may be slow as a snail, but he's able to obliterate anything with those massive blades or just step on it as a giant boar. That's always fun. My dad's favorite character to play as. Now, as the main villain in the series, his motives are pretty black and white. Now, he's not trying to steal a Krabby Patty secret formula. He still is the Plankton of Zelda, but all he wants to do is dominate something and power something, I don't know. The usual, I want to take over the world stuff. Now, I brought this up with Zant. But if he's destroying everything, what does Ganondorf plan on ruling? A pile of rubble? In some cases, Ganondorf wants to use the power of the Triforce to make a world for himself. I wonder what that would be like. Anyways, I've rambled long enough. Thank you for coming to my talk, rant, whatever, and I hope you enjoyed. You must have to some extent because you're still here. Unless you just skipped to the end. But yeah, let me know who your favorite Zelda villains are below. And if you've played Hyrule Warriors, who's your favorite character to play as? I know I skipped a few characters, but I just wrote this at like 4 in the morning, so it's time to put it into the editing thing and whatnot. Yeah, that's all for now. And did you know that snails can sleep up to 3 years? I wish I was a snail sometimes.